Hello and welcome to the Dutchin channel. It's Saturday the 13th of April 2024. It's approaching 10 to 10 in the morning and it's Grand National Day. I've already put up the Grand National separately if you want to watch that video. I've also put up the Aintree video. The first one I put up was Chelmsford because that kicks off at 10 o'clock. We're now going to do Chepstow. And then I've still got the three other meetings to get on here, and this is what's taken so much time to get these done. It takes ages and ages to do all the form. So we're going to start with Chepstow. There is a non-runner in our first race, which is Manor Park, which I've already taken out. But what we're going to do is the system has changed just a little bit if you haven't watched the recent videos, where we were betting a lot of short prices and they were getting beat. I had to look at that and think to myself, we seem to be wasting a lot of money on odds on favourites. And I know the majority of people don't really want to see those kind of winners or losers or staking that much money when you can do these value bets and pretty much back half the field, if not more. You're not going to win as many, but you're staking less and you're still winning the same. So it still levels itself out. I found that the last 2 days have profited really, really good for a less stake than I would normally. So I could have, if I look back to yesterday's, I think it was £192 profit and I staked 507. But for 18 races, that would not normally cost me somewhere around 900. So that 900, I could have added another 40% to those winnings quite easily. So let's have a look at the 140. What I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to do the system on finding value bets. And you'll see in column Z that I have prices for every horse. This is why I always say don't bet in races where the horses haven't run before or just running point to points, because I can't get the full that I need to pull up. So my SP is what I think the horse should be in the race. You're not going to get this right. Some are going to be well out. So this is just what I think. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into Matchbook and we're going to put every price of all 9 runners in there, and then I'll show you what to do. Now this system is a lot easier to do than the last one. I appreciate not a lot of you really understood Dutchin that well, and the ones that did, you would have made some nice profit in March, but it unfortunately at the start of April it had not deteriorated, but it didn't start very well. So I thought I was just needing to tweak it just a little bit. So we'll start here with the 140 at Chepstow. Lunar Sovereign is our top selection, but you don't really need to worry about any top selections if you're just going to do value bets. So we'll go into Matchbook and we will start here. So Lunar Sovereign is 10.5. So we put that in the column next to it, which is column AB. Now you can see that I've got this at roughly just over 5 to 4 at 2.35. So if a bookmaker's going to offer you 10.5, you jump at it because you go, Christ, that's brilliant. I've got it at 5 to 4, they got it at 9 to 1. So brilliant stuff. The stake will automatically come up for you there. If you're doing £100 return, then your stake would be £9.52. You would always return £100 if any horse wins. There's none of what I was doing where we only had a certain amount left and, well, we might have got £20 back for that if it won. None of that. So the second selection here is Wise Guy. But whether you keep these in alphabetical order, it doesn't matter anymore. And Wise Guy is currently 2.54. So we look at this and we go, well, I think that should be nearer 13 to 2 than 6 to 4. All right, 7.87 I'm expecting, and they're giving me 2.54. And you can see what the stake would have been, nearly 40 quid. But today, that's going to be a no bet on Wise Guy. Our third selection will be Valence Brouet. And Valence Brouet is currently 11.5. Now I make this 10.84, so it is a bit bigger. So that becomes a bet because it's a value bet because the price is bigger in column AB than it is in column Z. So £8.70 would return us £100. Then we go into our full selection, which is double click. Double click 7.2. I think it should be 12.99. So this is a no bet. And you can see the difference. Instead of laying out a quick £50 on maybe 2 or 3 of those, we keep going down until we do all the horses. Zambezi Fix is next. This is currently trading at 13. Well, I've got 13.9. So just for information, this will be a no bet. But you know, like I know, that prices fluctuate. They go in, they go out. And all you've got to wait for that is to go out another point roughly, and then that will become a bet. All right, so don't rule anything out now and just say, well, I'll do the ones that is given there, because by the time 5 or 10 minutes before the off comes round, the whole market could have changed. Then we look at Tommy Gunn. And Tommy Gunn is 7.2. And again, when we look, I think it should be 16.32. So no value at all in that. So we take that one out as well. Our next selection is Believe Jack. And Believe Jack is 29. And I've got it at 17. So 29 is a lot better. So there will be a stake of £3.45 to return £100. Never leave any selection out, even if you think it's 100 or 500 on Betfair. Always still do it, because your stake will be less and less anyway. But if you look back to Aintree yesterday, the last race was 94.3 the winner. And all right, I had 75, but it was a bet. It's not a bet you expect to come in, but you just do every bet you have to. Never leave some priced one out because you think it can't win. Then we go on to I Have a Voice, and I Have a Voice. This one is 38. And again, you can see that I've given it as 21.39, so value again in that because it's higher. £2.63 would return £100. And the last selection is Lucky Lugger. And Lucky Lugger is 28. And again, I give it 23.99, so there's value in that as well. But you can see, even though we've backed 5 out of the 9 here, we don't stand a favourite's chance of winning, but we've only laid out 27.87. And if you remember watching the videos on the other way I'd done it, we were laying out 50, but we were only covering maybe the first 3 in this case because of the price of Wise Guy. And that's all we'd have had running for us. And then when the short price favourite gets beat, then we think, well, that's a 50 down, and now we've got to win it all back in the next race. But you can see, even if you've done a similar race of these 3 or 4 times, you wouldn't have staked much more than, much over £100. You could have had 4 of these bets and only won once and covered it. You're not betting £50 and think, well, I need to win the next race to draw level again. So that is how we do the race itself. Again, just if you want to see that again, just roll the video back and watch it again. It's pretty easy. All right, as I said, column AB needs to be a higher price in there than than the MySP in column Z. So as long as that's bigger, you bet it. It's as easy as that. So we'll look at the rest of the card here that we would be betting on. There's your 2.15 at Chepstow, and we've got bowls over Bill there as my top selection, but you need to rule them out of your head now. All you've got to do is find bigger prices and you'll bet them. That's it. Then we'll go into the 2.50 at Chepstow. I've got Inedit Demi as my top selection, but again, just look at those highest prices. And this is what we call value betting. And Chepstow 3.32, Lady Balco. And then in our last betting race, I've got Goganard in the 4.40 as my top selection. But that will be it from Chepstow. So whatever you're betting today, let's hope you get a winner. And before I disappear, I'll just show you the Grand National that I've got there. And again, I've gone for Meeting of the Waters. But if you're going to bet on this race and look at all the prices and bet the higher ones, then I would definitely start at least half an hour beforehand, maybe a bit before that. So that's what's happening at Aintree, and we've done the Chepstow card. So that's it. So good luck with whatever you're playing today, and I'll be back this evening with the results show.